Hello, welcome back to another video. Today I actually want to talk about a really important topic within freelancing and just like working with clients in general, how to properly communicate with clients. Everyone always asks like, oh, how do you get clients? But I think what's more important is how to actually communicate well. Good communication can lead to more trust, long-term clients, and can lead to a whole variety of things that are beneficial to your career. So I think it's pretty important. So I'm gonna try and go over as much as I possibly can. Good communication can actually make or break a job. If you suck at communication, they might not want to work with you. They might see you as less professional and they might be like, oh, I don't know if I want to work with this person. When the client's asking about money, this is obviously a very sensitive subject. You know, they want to know that they're getting their money's worth. And so if they find that you're not a very nice person and that you're just kind of like, hire me or not, like that's not always the best approach. The major topic that I want to talk about is being efficient with your communication. When a client emails you, you want to kind of get to the point as quick as possible without sounding like a jerk. You want to be welcoming, you want to be warm, but you want to also just like get to the point because email is not like a conversation. People are emailing you because they want to know what they can get for the money that they have. They're probably emailing multiple people and asking like, oh, like how much is this person? Like how good is this person? Like can I afford to get this person? And blah, blah, blah. The quicker that you can kind of get that information to them and have that conversation, the quicker that you can land the job. What I like to do is that when someone emails me, I used to like to start off my email like, thank you so much for your interest in my services. I would love to get more information on your project. And in this email, you want to kind of like ask them questions about a bunch of different things. For instance, their budget, when they want the deliverables, what they actually want from the project. Also like their availability. So you don't have to ask like a ton of questions here. You can just kind of ask the basic questions of like, are you actually available? Am I actually available at this time? Does your budget fit the price range that I usually service? Right away, sometimes clients won't tell you their budget. They'll either tell you what their budget is right away, or they'll want to get a feel for what your pricing is. They're kind of looking for like, how can we get the most bang for our buck kind of thing. That doesn't mean that it's a bad client to work for. It just means that they're very careful with how they spend their money. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you want to work with them and you actually want to do the project, but they're not really charging a whole lot, what you can do is you can be like, hey, maybe we can scale down the deliverables so that there's less to do and we can still fit in that budget. If your budget's not there, then I could probably only give you this much because, well, you can't afford all of that. Let's go back to what I meant about being warm with your clients. Most clients would rather work with someone who is easy to work with, who is kind, who is hardworking, who is trustworthy. When you get experience and you start working with people and people start saying like, oh, you're so fun to work with, you were super easy to work with, you were efficient, you weren't late, you handed everything in on time, they're gonna wanna keep working with you. And then they're also gonna refer you to other people. That is kind of how you network, is through being kind, not just like going in, doing the job and then leaving and then never talking to people again. I feel like if you find that you're very introverted and you're like, I don't want to talk to people, like I don't like people, I only like dogs and cats, but you love editing and you love filming and everything, find a partner, like find someone to help you out. They can kind of be there and be that buffer. When you're working in an industry that is like working with people, basically, like you gotta figure out a way to work with people. I don't know how else to say it. Some people will just love working with you, but they'll refer you and they'll probably like maybe they won't ever work with you again. But some people will want to consistently work with you, because I've had clients where they will consistently call me back every like 6 months and be like, hey, we have a summer show that we want you to do, or we have a fall thing that we want you to do. Like, can you help us out with that? If you know that they paid you well in the last shoot, you know that they're going to pay you well in the next one, unless there's like something that happened. While emailing is very important for getting a lot of information at once and kind of like including a ton of people, you should always start off with emails whenever you're working with clients. What I like to do on Instagram or Facebook or whatever is, if people message you, they send you a DM. If you want to write out like a pre-written message, you can kind of start it off like, hey person, thank you so much for the follow. If you are interested in our services or looking for a quote, you can email us at this. That is kind of like a good way to be like, hey, I don't do dealings here on the DMs. It immediately sends them to your email so that they can kind of like officially begin the process. So now, like, when do you go casual with the conversation? Email isn't very good for getting a reply back quickly. Say the day of the shoot, I like to just give them my phone number, and today might be a little bit hectic. You know, I don't check my email all the time. So feel free to text me or call me. From that point on, you can kind of just communicate through text or communicate through phone calls. If you really want to like get to know the client, have a FaceTime call with them. I want to get to know your vision. I want to get to know kind of your testimony. Is this a good match? Because I've actually had FaceTime calls where I've gone into it thinking like, oh, I don't know about this, but then I've come out of it thinking, wow, like I would love to work with these people. It saves so much time, and yeah, it'll just like get you to that point of like knowing if you want to do it or not so much quicker. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to hear more content about this subject, then I would love to do that, because I think it's a very important thing to know. Like, learning tech is good, you know, like talking about technology is fun, but actually learning how to like run a business is the hardest part about running a business, you know, like how to communicate, how to get paid well, how to actually like do the things that are really boring but like are very important. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, see ya.